Hi, my name is Jonas, this is Sublime Media, and on this channel I talk about records and record related stuff like books and box sets and... yeah, I think that's it. Today I am going to show you my recent vinyl finds, and these are not recent at all. Some of these are over a year old because I have just been buying so much stuff, and some of it I haven't got around to really play until now. So I play them, I'm gonna file them, but before I do, I always shoot a video. It's gonna be a lot of records and even some great material, if I could say so myself. So yeah, but here we go. Cue music. So let's start pretty good or huge or heavy. This is one of the better finds of this period. Shape of the Rain with Riley, Wood and Waggett, something like that, on RCA Neon. And this has been on my want list for very long time. This was released in 1971, UK band, only released one record, and on the fabulously looking RCA Neon, which was a subsidiary to RCA when they were trying to do a little bit more progressive sort of take. I don't know if they competed with like Vertigo or something like that, but this is power pop, psych poppy, not psych poppy, power pop, like in the vein of Big Star or Badfinger. Like this is in that sort of category. Maybe not for everyone. I think that this is a masterpiece. Check it out. Okay, continuing on with a US band. This band just came and went at the same time. This is Genesis. In the beginning, 1968. I think that they disbanded before they could even do anything. And it's on a major label. It's on Mercury, but you never see or read anything about this. Don't let the cover artwork fool you, because I thought that this would sound like a Baroque folk record from the UK, something like that. And it doesn't, like really. It's much heavier, and that's a positive thing when it comes to this, in my opinion. Great one. And if you are going to check one track out, I would go for the last track, actually. It's 16 minutes long. It's called World Without You. And it's one of those mind-melting tracks. Getting to the most valuable one of the bunch that I'm going to show you today. And a top tier for the top 10 best finds of 2024, I think. It's gonna be a hard one to beat, definitely, is the Shin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it that anyway. This is krautrock at its absolute best. And this is a first German press on Bacillus Records, Bellafon. I did a monster purchase from a friend of mine. We have been talking about this purchase for 2-3 years, I think, and I ended up buying, I think, 8 or 9 records like this. You'll see more of this, but yeah, this I play now. This is heavy rock, like really heavy krautrock. There's not a bad second on this one. It's a mind melter, and I can't decide on one track to actually recommend. Just play them all and you'll see for yourself. Unfortunately, the cover artwork isn't in great condition, but the vinyl plays fantastically. So I'm super glad to actually put this in the collection. It's yeah, good time to be a crowd corrector. Let's just put it like that. Okay, let's go for this one. Swedish rare, great record. Been on the want list since I started collecting records seriously, like 15 years ago or something like that. Really starting to buy like rare records, and this has just gone up in price, and this will just keep on getting up in price because it's timeless in its genre. Arbete och Fritid, their first record called Esso, also due to the lamp that she holds there. The first one with Roland Kaiser, Torsten Eckermann, Kjell Westling, Ove Karlsson and Bent Berger on drums. Fantastic. Like, this is folk prog at its best. Like, if you like Samla Mammas Manna, or maybe the more, it's hard to really like Kebnekaise combined with Sevda or something like that. On Sonnet, yeah, great copy, got it for a good price. I mean, it's only going up. Like, when I started looking for this, it was a 30 euro record, something like that. It's not anymore. It's a 100 euro plus record. Okay, so I bought a reissue of this when I was in Berlin many years ago, like 10 plus years ago, and with a friend. And I played the reissue to death, and I've been looking for a copy of it. But again, a record that just keeps on going up in price. It's just like people are discovering this record and how good it is. It's a masterpiece. I've talked about this before. Like, it's such a good record. And it's on ABC Probe, so pretty like big major label. It's not a private press or anything, even if it almost sounds a little bit like that. And this guy is calling himself St. Stephen on this, but his real name, and I have to read here, is Steve Cataldo. And this is from 1969. But I think he released some singles and stuff like that before this. Anyway, he only did this, went away, never heard of him since. If you know anything about this, please write in the comments if you have info on it. But again, artwork, music, everything is just top. Now, I'm not a huge Alice Cooper fan. I could even stretch it to that. I don't like it, like the 70s stuff, and don't let me get started on the 80s. It's just not my cup of tea. But the first two records by Alice Cooper are awesome. This is the straight records. This is when Zappa was involved. This is when Zappa found Alice Cooper as a band and promoted them. I mean, the first record, Pretty's for You, on straight record. This is a later reissue on Warner, but the first one was on straight record. This is a Zappa record, but with Alice Cooper's voice. It almost sounds like that. It's amazing, like really, really good. If you're a Zappa fan, it's a no-brainer. And this one is also good. Not as good, but also good. I got this for a great price. I actually had a copy of this that I sold. I got a lot of money for it, so I never thought that I would own another copy. But when this emerged for next to nothing, I couldn't pass it on, so pass it up. So easy action. So now I have the first two, and I think that's everything I need by Alice Cooper. Another long time want that I actually got on a record fair for a great price is the Poppy Family. Which Way You Going, Billy, featuring Susan Jacks. This is the UK first press. But I think that the German, or if it was the US, had a completely different cover. Both really nice looking. So either way, if you get this or another of the earlier pressings with a different cover, you can't go wrong. Issued on Decca. And this is a Canadian group that is a little bit more on the poppier Psych side, but still fantastic. I think that I sampled this on YouTube or something like that many years ago, and it's been on the want list since. Great vocals, great musicianship, great songs, and not too expensive. The next three I'm going to show you is from the same collection, a collection that I bought with mint records from an audiophile guy that unfortunately passed away. This is Betty Davis with Nasty Gal 1975, and as you can see, it's in fantastic condition. The guy put everything in polylined in the sleeves, put the original inserts to themselves. I mean, he did it the audiophile way. So this was the third and last, let's put it like that, the last record that Betty Davis made. It was kind of like when the first came out, it was hailed. When the second came out, that was a smash hit. When this came out, it wasn't as hailed as the other ones, and she actually quit the music industry after this, but not before she actually recorded another record. But that was shelved until Light in the Attic released it in 2009 or something like that. So a pretty interesting artist, pretty interesting history, and man, this is good. Like if you're into funk, this is like and if you have a good system playing it on, the bass on it is huge. So anyway, from the same collection, I mean, I've sold some of it. Some of it I'm gonna put in my shop that I'm gonna open, and some of it I just couldn't pass on like to anyone else. I needed it for my own collection, and he had almost all the 70s and maybe early 80s Warren Zevon records in mint condition, like almost unplayed. They looked unplayed, like so these aren't going for that much money, so I decided to keep them. And especially this, it's been on constant rotation, like Excitable Boy. There's not a bad track on this, and I don't think that I have given Warren Zevon enough credit historical wise. I haven't really listened to his records because it has a little bit of that sort of late 70s, early 80s production that some of the artists from that time period has. Like Elvis Costello has some records that I can't really stand them because of how it sounds. And Nick Lowe, same goes with Nick Lowe. And I've always thought that Warren Zevon was one of those that I couldn't stand. But listening to his lyrics, the musicianship, and also the fidelity, like how they actually sound, how the records sound through your speakers, 10 out of 10. Like, man, this is a masterpiece. Masterpiece of a record. Canadian reissue, but in great condition. Sounds fantastic. And I actually had a pretty ugly, like, I think 80s reissue of this with a big sticker and stuff like that. So I think that Vinyl Stockholm, Jonas, passed this to me. Got it for a great price. So Astral Weeks with Van Morrison. I needed a copy, and now I have one. So, moving to Brothers Records, this is, I think, I'd said 71, but it could be another date. Yeah. So, this is The Flame, a psychedelic, soulful band, but they have a little bit of prog. They have a lot of, like, 70s rock to them, too. They put out some records in the 60s. I think that this was the last one that they put out. And they are mainly known for the guitarist, and I have to read here, Blondie Chaplin, which played with Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys. So Carl Wilson is actually the producer of this and helped them out with recording this record. This is a great one that I had no idea about. So a collecting friend here from my town actually hooked me onto this, and got it for a great price. Brother Records. I mean, this is the proof that there are so much music that you have never heard and that you should hear. That's why I don't listen to new music, because there are too much to discover back in the day. It's not that there's not good music being done today. On the contrary, there are so much good music being done today, but I can't keep up. So I'm focusing on the old stuff. Okay, Chris Wilson went under the name The Grey Wizard, or yeah, Gandalf the Grey. The Grey Wizard Am I. This was released first in 1972. Now, this guy, Chris, I'm reading here again, Chris Wilson, he did some records in the singles, 2 singles in the 60s, like late 60s, 68 maybe, something like that. Didn't go anywhere, and that had some poppy feel to it. I think that he was from New York. I read somewhere, like, I have something back in my head, like he was sitting in a window in New York, something like that. But of all the quirky records about the Tolkien universe, this has to be one of the most quirky ones. All of the lyrics is about the Shire and hobbits and the Lord of the Rings, and he even calls himself Gandalf the Grey. I mean, there's nothing to really, there's not much left for the imagination. He puts it all out, and it's just like mind-bending. So I had a reissue, I think an unofficial reissue of this. If you want an original press of this, and I want an original press of this, you have to shell out. But I actually managed to find a second press. So this is on Heyoka, and they only put out like 5 records in the beginning of the 80s, I think. So yeah, so I'm pretty glad that I have a second official press of this. Sounds great, much better than my reissue, but this is not a audiophile record. This is the opposite of audiophile record. It sounds like it's recorded in a basement or something, which just adds to the charm of this. One of my favorite records. Like, it's really good. I'm finding myself like going in the kitchen or standing in the shower and really humming along with these, like Grey Wizard and I. So, yeah, you know the deal. Jump cut to by the Deviants, and I actually folded this out for you to check out. This is a 6-panel fold out. And I wish that this was a first press, but it isn't. It's a reissue on, or this, I guess the second press on Psycho, because I think that Psycho did official reissues. But please comment if you know anything about that. So Deviants, unfortunately, I don't know much about the Deviants. They did like 4 records or something like that. I haven't heard anything else except for this. And in my opinion, this sounds a little bit like little bit more psychedelic outfit of Velvet Underground or something like that. It's very punky in its feel, in my opinion. Very dirty, like I love the dirty sound of it. And so yeah, I think it was issued in 1968. So yeah, and as I said, this is the second time it was released, which I guess makes this the second press, even if it's on Psycho Records. But comment if you know, or if you have like theories about what determines a second press. Or yeah, moving on. Seattle, US, also a long time want that I actually managed to get for a great price. I'm so happy to actually file this in the collection. Seattle band, one-off, they only did this. Great musicians, fantastic tunes. The guitarists stands out in my opinion. And there is some covers on this one, like many did back in the day. In this case, a 6-minute version of Hey Jude. And when I'm listening to that, I hear, like, they do a version of Hey Joe, which reminds me a little bit of the White Rabbit. And Whipping Post, so a blend between that, but with Lennon McCartney. Yeah, great one. And as I said, the guitars really stand out. Floating Bridge on Vault Records, which is also an interesting one, but that maybe we'll leave that for another video. Yeah, like everyone else, I guess, I'm looking for Shugi Otis because the first 3 or the 3 records that he put out is great. I don't know how the third sounds because I'm waiting for the vinyl sort of experience when it comes to that. So I've actually not listened to that. I'm going to get the first press, and that's going to be the first time I listen to it. I know that I will like it. Anyway, I managed to find this. It's on Epic. I think it's a US... No, it's a German first... Is it a German first press? Dutch press on Epic. And when it comes to this, I think that the follow-up is a better record. But it's like, in one sense, like comparing like apples and pears, because they sound so completely different. And there are only a few years between them. So he really developed. This is much more standard bluesy. But check out the first song. Like Oxford Grey, 6 minutes long. It's everything in one song. You have the guitar masturbation and you have orchestration. It's just insane. So check it out. If not anything else, try that song out. See for yourself. Moving on to a band that I actually have a little bit of a hard time. This is the best one that I've experienced with them. And it's also been on my want list for a while because I've sampled it, sounded fine, and the cover artwork is just so damn cool. So I wanted a copy and I got one, not too expensive. I think they pressed a lot of these. I think they were pretty popular in Italy. So this is L'Orme with Felona e Sorona. And on YouTube you can check out the second track called Felona, which is like just 2 minutes long, but it's a beautiful, beautiful tone. And this is the first Italian press on Philips. And Laor Miss, they released a bunch of records back in the day, so you can get them fairly easy, like not super easy, but fairly easy here in Europe at least. And yeah, so if you like symphonic Italian prog, check it out. In my opinion, there are a lot of better Italian prog records, but this is the best one I've heard with Laorm, at least up till this date. Okay, so the next one is Lucifer's Friend. I'm Just a Rock and Roll Singer from 1973, I think. So this is a new addition to my Vertigo Swirl collection, first German press. This was the second one that they released. The first one is a better record in my opinion. But it's still better than I remembered it, because I've sampled it and I thought of buying it, but it's an expensive record, so it wasn't worth it. I found this in a big collection that I bought, and I sold off most of it. Have some that I kept for myself. This is one of them, mainly because the Vertigo Swirl, but also because the backside of it is torn, and there's a rip. So yeah, but other than that, the vinyl plays great, and the cover artwork on the front is good looking. So a definite keeper. And from the same collection, actually, this is a US press, I'm pretty sure at least, on Fantasy Records. This is Blackbirds, and this was, I mean, there were a lot of like Deep Purple, and he had a lot of Neil Young and stuff like that. But then the Lucifer Friend just appeared, and this one, which is a funk record, like a soulful funk record, the Blackbirds. I think they only released this, I should have done my research, 1974, gatefold sleeve. I think there's some drum breaks and stuff like that for everyone that samples those things. And if you should check out one track, it's Do It Fluid, which really, yeah, it's a cool tune. It's funky. I started to tap my foot when I listened to it, definitely. I mean, I'm not selling it, I'm keeping it. So, I mean, that's worth something, right? Like, I really like it. And this is actually, this was stolen, this cover artwork, from a Monet painting. So, I think that they got some shit for that, but yeah, the Blackbirds. And the next one is a prog record that I've seen so many times. Like, not out there, but on lists and on, you know, and I've had it on my want list for ages. Never picked it up, so I guess that this is one that you could find in a sort of a fair or something like that, like a record fair or something like that, pretty easily. A French band called Sue, they released 4 records. This is the first one, yes, first one, from like 1969. Let's say 69. And I think that this is the US press, and they actually pressed it, the inside of the gatefold on the wrong side. So that's pretty neat. On Mercury Records. So yeah, good one. It's not expensive at all, so you can get it pretty easily. And yeah, if you find it cheaply, I would pick it up. It's the genre. It's all over the place when it comes to genres. It's prog. It's a little bit psych. It's a little bit standard rock, you know. And French progressive. I mean, the French progressive circuit, I don't know much about. Like, I'm more into the Italian prog than the French, but that's also a pretty cool thing that's still left to explore. Again, from the big collection that I got the July record from, so we are talking over a year, like well over a year ago, I got this, and it's been on, I shouldn't say constant rotation, but it's been set aside. I played it, I set it aside, I played it, set it aside. I wasn't ready to file it yet, but now I am. Like, this is great. Pacific Drift, Feeling Free, their only record. Group from Manchester in the UK. And this is, again, all over the place, but great guitar work. A little bit more on the heavy blues side than anything else, maybe. Just, yeah, check it out. And this has been on my want list for so long. If I found this out in the wild, I would pay a little bit for it, definitely, if I found it for a good price. But this is a rare record, so you have to pay up for it. It's on the Deram Nova subsidiary. Just a great record, and I'm so happy that I could find it in a collection, so I didn't need to put up that real money for it. the real money. And again, from that same collection, another one that I've just been holding. I haven't played it. Like, it's been standing there. I didn't really feel like it. I had so much other stuff to play, and yeah, but the time was just right, so I played it, and man, it's good. I'm talking about Half-Breed with Keith Hartley Band. And Keith Hartley Band, they released like 3 records or something like that. Maybe this is in the middle of the releases, I don't know. So a first UK stereo press of this, with the original insert also on there. Yeah, I should have played this earlier. This is great. When it comes to that UK white blues that maybe John Mayall and early Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green did, I mean, this is up there with the top. Like, the guitar playing on this is really soaring, like that Peter Green-esque kind of guitar technique, guitar playing. The tone on the guitar is just magnificent. I get goosebumps just talking about it. And the vocals are, he sounds like a little bit fatter Steve Winwood, and that's not a bad review. Highly recommended. Definitely the best one I've heard by that band up till now. Some stuff you see and you just get it because of the cover artwork. I'm like that, but much more before than today, because I have so much stuff to play, so I don't get stuff on a whim. Like, I don't take chances. But this, I think it was like 10 euro or something like that. It looked awesome, and when I came home, it ended up being a promo copy, which was pretty cool. This is Warlock, self-titled record, and I thought that this would be a pretty sappy, like 60s rock record, because I knew nothing about it. I mean, it looks very evil, doesn't it? So when I saw it, I'm like, I'm taking a chance on this. This is going home with me, and I'm pretty glad I did. This is not rock at all, or maybe a little bit rock, but this is more of a funk, psych funk record with 99% funk in it. He has the vocal is, and I think that this is where they took the sort of the occult themes from. He has the voice of Screaming Jay Hawkins, but other than that, no resemblance whatsoever. Great cover artwork, pretty good record. Recommended for 10 euro. Yeah, pick it up. If you find it for 10 euro, pick it up. And as I said, when I got home, started playing it, I saw not for sale, promotional copy only, and that was just a bonus. And from the same seller, actually, again, the same thing. Like, this costs nearly nothing, and I just went based on the cover. It was one of those days, I guess, because it looked like a private pressed, like, Gandalf the Grey thing. So I just wanted to take it home with me, and I'm pretty glad I did. I mean, it's on RCA, so it's a major label release. Looking like this, I needed to find out how it sounded. I think I paid like 10 euro or 8 or something like that. So on RCA Victor. Again, this is a soul funk record with a female-led vocal. I have to say, like, she is not doing a good job. Like, she's trying to sound a little bit like a really funky, like James Brown. Like when James Brown really funks loose, this is what she tries, but she doesn't even come close. Like, nothing with her vocal performance is on par with what they try to achieve with this record. They released 2 records, I think. This is the first one, and I'm not interested in exploring the next one. If this is a keeper, I don't know. I don't think that anyone wants it. So if anyone wants it, maybe I'll sell it down the line. But yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. I don't know if that's a thing that I learned from this one. And last but definitely not least, this is the first UK press of Groundhogs. The Mighty Groundhogs, Who Will Save the World, on United Artists and it looks like this. And this is it's a good record. It's not a great record. It's a good record, but I'm keeping it just for the quirky cover. This fold out comic book thing that just you can't do this on a stream, can you? Or a CD, not in the same vein. We have some of those, like Thick as a Brick comes to mind, obviously, with the paper sort of mock-up. Okay, I can't put that away. But yeah, so Groundhogs, this is a good one. Like a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Something like that. I don't collect Groundhogs. When I stumble upon them for a great price, I'll pick it up. This was also in that big collection, so when you get down to it, it's like next to nothing paid for it. So yeah, keeper for sure. And that's it. Hope you dug it. Hope you found some stuff. And please comment, give that thumbs up. Subscribe if you've listened to me rambling on about this for like a half an hour or whatever this is. I mean, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, subscribe already, come on. So yeah, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. So I just did a review of this super rare Pink Floyd collector's item, the box set first 11. And if you want to see more content like this, just check out the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. I've been here for 14 years, so there's something for everyone, I think. And have a great day. Bye.